The Watcher, a chilling tale of paranoia and mystery. Welcome to a story that will send chills down your spine and keep you on the edge of your seat. This is the unsettling true tale of a couple who began receiving ominous letters shortly after moving into their new home. What started as seemingly harmless pranks soon morphed into a horrifying psychological game. Join us as we unravel the paranoid, fear-filled journey to uncover the identity of the Watcher. It all started with hope and excitement. A young couple, eager to begin their new life, moved into what they thought was their dream home. Nestled in a quiet, welcoming neighborhood, the house promised comfort and serenity. The neighbors were friendly, and everything seemed just perfect. The dream began to sour when the first ominous letter arrived. Addressed anonymously, it contained a bizarre and ambiguous message. With no return address and peculiar phrasing, the letter was unsettling but didn't seem threatening. As the days turned into weeks, the letters grew in frequency and malice. Each note was more threatening, with chilling messages that spoke of watching and waiting. The content was alarming, and it seemed as though the writer knew intimate details of their lives. Alarm bells began to ring. At first, they attempted to ignore the letters, convinced that they were merely an annoying prankster's idea of a joke. They carried on with life, trying to maintain their normalcy. But the seeds of unease had been sown. The paranoia began to set in, growing insidiously. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of leaves outside their window felt like a menacing prelude to danger. Shadowy figures seemed to lurk in every corner, turning their home into a place of dread rather than solace. Determined to unmask the person behind the letters, the couple began their investigation. Suspicion fell on both familiar and unfamiliar faces. They questioned neighbors, scrutinized deliverymen, and even installed cameras to catch this mysterious watcher in action. As they confided about their predicament, the response from the community was mixed. Some offered support, while others were dismissive, suggesting the couple might be overreacting. This mix of support and skepticism only fueled their growing desperation and isolation. The letters became increasingly personal, including non-public facts about the couple's daily routines and discussions. This invasion of privacy sowed further seeds of fear and panic. What had been unsettling was now terrifying. They realized they were truly being watched. The ordeal took its toll on their once strong relationship. Fights erupted over trivial things as the pressure of their situation mounted. Where there had been trust, now lived doubt and suspicion. Each blamed the other for imagined oversights and follies. The couple took turns staying up at night, hoping to catch a glimpse of their silent tormentor. The dark circles under their eyes betrayed sleepless nights spent in fear and anticipation. The constant vigilance eroded their sense of security and well-being. They reached out to the local police for help, but with no real evidence or suspects, the authorities were powerless to do more than file reports. The lack of progress added to their growing sense of helplessness and isolation. As time passed, the psychological toll became evident. The couple experienced a growing sense of dread and paranoia, their thoughts clouded by persistent fear. Each began questioning their sanity, wondering if they were imagining the whole thing. Then came a new clue, an inexplicable item found in their yard, a seemingly benign object with potential significance. It reignited hope, albeit briefly, that they might solve the mystery and regain peace. Desperation led them to compile a list of suspects and theories, from a vindictive neighbor to a spurned previous owner. Each theory came with moments of fleeting hope quickly dashed by reality. No lid was the right one. Growing more desperate each day, they consulted a private investigator. The investigator's findings were inconclusive, leaving the couple to chew on the bitter taste of futility. Paranormal advisors were considered, but dismissed in favor of reason and fact. Their attempts to set traps and use technology to catch the Watcher yielded nothing but frustration. The mystery remained unsolved, with the unseen tormentor remaining out of grasp and mocking their efforts in the dark. Socially, they began to withdraw, isolating themselves from stares and whispers they imagined coming from each interaction. Friends and allies grew distant, conversations awkward. The couple's quiet desperation only served to further separate them from the world outside. Desperate, they orchestrated a confrontation aimed at one of their top suspects. The meeting unraveled with no solid evidence emerging, and their accusations remained hanging in the air. The Watcher was no closer to being revealed, still eluding them skillfully. In a bid for safety, they contemplated selling their beloved home, but conflicting emotions ran high. The decision weighed heavily on them. They were torn between safety and stubborn resolve. A particularly chilling letter arrived, pushing the couple's nerves to the brink. Words of embedded threats and a sense of immediate danger made it the climax of their chilling ordeal, leaving them with no clear path of escape. As if scripted by a cruel author, a twist unfolded, deepening the mystery of the Watcher's intentions. Every small sign pointed to new, unfathomable depths in the narrative none could predict. Their investigation revealed a hidden aspect of the home's history, a secret that fueled the mystery even further. A previously unknown fact about the house's former occupants added another layer to their already spinning minds. Abruptly, the letters stopped arriving. Often considered a relief, it only served to deepen their confusion. They felt the lack of messages was more disturbing than receiving them. With no closure, the enigmatic pause haunted them every day. Despite the lack of closure, the couple yearned for answers, piecing together various speculations about the Watcher's identity and motives. Each outcome felt plausible, yet nothing was concrete. Over time, they began to reflect on the entire ordeal. It had changed them profoundly, shaping their views on trust, privacy, and fear. Their relationship, though tested, emerged bruised but not broken. Ultimately, they came to a quiet acceptance. The truth of who the Watcher was or what they wanted may never be known, yet they decided that life must continue. They embraced the ambiguity, choosing to let go of the need for absolute answers. Finally, despite the shadow cast by this unresolved torment, a new beginning emerged. They stood together, wiser and more resilient, ready to reclaim their lives from the unseen hands that once bound them. And so ends the tale of The Watcher, a complex story of fear, paranoia, and obsession, echoing age-old themes of light and darkness that reside in us all. As you reflect on this story, ask yourself, how well do you truly know your neighbors? And more chillingly, how well do they know you?